Yo, what's up with y'all, man? I hope you're doing good. If you're new and you're a fan of the NBA, subscribe to this channel. So let's get straight into it.
Money longer, shout out bros, keep my eyes in the sky, cause that's where I'm moving. Say they wanna read my mind.
For some of you who aren't knowledgeable for some weird reason, I did my very first giveaway on Instagram, and to say the least, it was real interesting. I appreciate every single person who showed up and left their little gorilla comment emoji, and I especially appreciate the winner, Jeremy. Dude been around for a very long time, and you already know what it is. If the rest of you guys want a chance to participate in my next giveaway, which will be I don't know when, but just follow my Instagram, mojo99__. Quick plug. Yeah, I know, but I had to do it. Anyways, let's get into the madness you guys came here for.
Maybe what teams you would think, because this doesn't seem to be a big man's game, but he can't shoot the three.
Yeah. The trade deadline is literally less than 48 hours away from happening in the making of this very video you are watching right now. So that means that every single team in the league who are still unsure and aren't too high on certain players and want to acquire better players, or for some of them who just want assets like draft picks and cap space like the New York Knicks. Anyways, these teams had so much time to make a move, but didn't because they couldn't find a good suitor to their needs, or because of procrastination and noticeable changes or cold streaks for certain players. So let's dive deep into this, starting off with the Houston Rockets. Now, the Houston Rockets have been good this year, but not just good enough to be taken seriously as they were the previous year. All of us are knowledgeable that they did end up losing Trevor Ariza. The retraction of him and a few other pieces who were once upon a time a part of that organization hurt. It hurt a lot, and that made them slip and lose something that they were so good at last year, and that was their defense. Nowadays, they've been one of the worst defensive teams in the league and have been riding hard and sacked to just eke out a win. Now, hey, yeah, it is cool and fun to see Harden go out and just give people 40, 45, 38 in his sleep, but once the playoffs start, and if they make a deep run and meet up with a team on their level, such as the Nuggets, Lakers, and etc., then they could get booted easily just like that. So in order for them to prevent that horrible scenario from happening, they need to bring in a vet piece who can do just about everything pretty well. And that player that they are looking for should be able to play defense at a high level, and also shoot threes, of course. I have the perfect player for them, and he actually plays for my favorite team in the NBA, the Atlanta Hawks. Now, Kent is damn near the perfect role player. He's the type of player that literally every single team would love to have a part of their roster. He can shoot, play great defense. He doesn't need to rely on anyone to create for him. He can create for himself and others once in a while. He can do all of that. Not saying that he'll completely change life in Houston, alright? He ain't a star. If he was like that, then he'd be a star, but he's not. But he could make this team a lot better. With the addition of Kent, he would not only be an upgrade to what they have now, but he's even an upgrade compared to what they had last year in Trevor Ariza. Yeah, he might not be as good of a three-point shooter as Ariza, but he is for sure better than him in a lot of aspects in the game. Now wait, as I said, I'm a Hawks fan, and I'm a greedy one too, and I know y'all need him. Now me, since I'm a nice and reasonable guy, and since Kent is making a lot of money, too much money probably for his own good, I think the Rockets would be way more than willing to give up Brandon Knight.
Stupid, I'm not gonna let you get the chance.
Who is overpaid too, and also a first rounder. Now hey, I only want a first rounder from them because Kent Bazemore's contract expires next year, just like Brandon Knight. And if anything in this situation, we are helping them more than they are helping us. But hey, in a realistic situation, the Rockets would probably offer 2 second rounders or maybe just the first, along with Brandon Knight, just to get Kent Bazemore. If the Rockets hit up Atlanta and offer up that, then I think we would gladly take that deal. Atlanta gets a little bit worse, and by doing that, we add value to our draft pick. And Houston gets a great vet who can attribute to their success right away. On to the next possible deal that could happen within these next 24 hours involves a couple of other Atlanta Hawks veterans, Dwayne Dedmon and Jeremy Lin. Now, due to these guys' contracts not being bad at all, a bundle of teams in the league can scoop up these sought-after vets in order to give themselves an even better chance at making a deeper playoff run. So off tops, a team like the 76ers, who needs to get Ben, Embiid, and Butler help off the bench could pull this trigger in their sleep and could offer up Justin Patton and Amir Johnson in the second round, or maybe a first. I want a first rounder. Dwayne Dedmon is a very, very good modern day big who can protect the rim, block shots, set screens, and more important than all of that, stretch out the floor and chuck threes. He would be the perfect fit next to Ben Simmons. Once Embiid sits the bench and gets a little break, him nor coach would have to worry about the lead because they would have a competent big man in Dedmon whose game meshes really, really well with Ben Simmons and Butler. As a Hawks fan, I'd be okay with giving up Dedmon as long as I get picks, I'm straight. Now wait, I do prefer a first rounder, don't get it twisted, but then again, who the hell am I to demand first round picks for a dude named Dwayne Dedmon? Let me get back in my place, I'm sorry. Anyway, seems like Philly, Milwaukee, Charlotte, and the Clippers could make this very move right here to enhance their playoff chances. Jeremy Lin is the other vet who is more than expandable as well. But since his contract is just a tad bit overboard, it might just be a bit harder to find him a new home. But then again, he is an expiring contract. And that is extremely valuable in the NBA today because next year's free agency class, there's a lot of big dudes, big names out there. And plus, it's not like Jeremy Lin is trash. He's not trash at all. He would be a great backup point guard for most teams out there in the league. So make sure you look out for them. Now let's put this thing in throttle a little bit and just make things a bit more intense. And talk about even better players who could jump ships too. As y'all know, the Dallas Mavericks are out here making moves and aren't waiting for nobody. They want to get things done now. So they'll be prepared for whatever they got coming at them in the future. I like their way of thinking. They just scooped up Kristaps Porzingis, Trey Burke, and also sadly Tim Hardaway Jr. They're looking to create an environment full of players who complement Luka, so Luka can just go out there and do Luka, be great. And sorry, not sorry, but Harrison Barnes' name has been dangled out there. Don't get it twisted, he is a good player that could make a lot of teams better. And because of that, teams like the Kings are really, really interested in his service and like the idea of him in a Sacramento jersey. Now I'm kind of weary about the Kings making a deal for Barnes because, you know, the Mavs have Mark Cuban, and if you know Mark Cuban, he loves them Euro players, and the best Euro player on the Mavs is Bogdanovic. If I were them, I personally wouldn't be too comfortable with giving that man up. But hey, if they're fine with giving up Bogdan, then they're gonna pull the trigger. If not, then the Mavs might put all their focus and attention to that man Otto Porter. Now the Wizards are, I don't even know what the Wizards are, but if they want a chance to get better, I guess, then they could easily make a Porter-Barnes swap. I feel like we can all agree that Harrison Barnes may be the better player right now, and Otto Porter is the better system player.
Shadow spins in the paint. Beautiful pass for Porter.
Now look what we have here. If you guys did not notice already, like 2 weeks ago I posted a trade video and it did really well, but you know, it came with just a little bit of controversy because I said that the Raptors should be interested in trading for Marc Gasol. Now mind you, there are no rumors whatsoever out there about Marc Gasol being traded to specifically the Raptors. I just thought it would be a dope scenario to happen just based off of my pure instincts. And what do you know? 2 weeks later, the Raptors not only have interest in Marc Gasol, but they also want that man Mike Conley. Look at me, man, I'm sorry to brag, but you can't tell me I can't brag. Look what I said 2 weeks ago. Trade him to where and for who? Well, I got that figured out, and it's to the Toronto Raptors. Now look, the Raptors do not need Gasol really at all. They are doing just fine with Pascal Siakam and Ibaka at the forefront. But when they make a deep playoff run, I feel like Gasol could really show his worth then. The Raptors would have a much better and an extremely high chance at coming out of the East with Gasol on their roster. Now look, since Gasol— oh my god, I know I am! Do y'all know how many Raptors fans are crying and harassing me down below in the comments? They're talking about, so, oh, we don't need Gasol. Oh, no duh, man. In my video, I literally just said they don't need Gasol. I was just suggesting that if they wanted to make a serious playoff run, then they might want to add that man to their roster. As I said in that same video, I don't like to repeat myself, but I have to. Let's be real. Who the hell are the Raptors gonna scare once they walk up into the Eastern Conference Finals with Kyle Lowry or Pascal Siakam as their second option on offense? Siakam is nice, alright? Pascal is really, really good, but he's just not that dude yet to me. And he shouldn't be relied on or viewed as that dude at all. When the Raptors face Philly, Milwaukee, or the Boston Celtics, who have beaten them twice, by the way, this season, who is that man Kyle Lowry gonna scare? Himself, probably. Kyle Lowry has been in playoff mode already. That dude has been pure cheeks. Yes. Look, man, I'm a god when it comes to this prediction stuff for the most part. Yeah, I'm wrong here and there. So what? But if you look at my history and my track record, I'm a lot more wrong than I am right. Now back to this trade. Alright, my bad. I don't know if this deal is gonna get done, but I definitely think it should. Mike Conley is a better basketball player than Kyle Lowry. Enough said. And Marc Gasol is a better basketball player than Jonas Valančiūnas right now. Now granted, Jonas is younger and he probably will be a better player in 3 years, only because Marc Gasol is aging. But man, the Raptors, they're trying to get it right now. They're going all in. And if they're about to go all in, why not go all out? Mike Conley is better than Kyle Lowry. Don't care what nobody says. If you put him, Gasol, Ibaka, and Siakam and the rest of those guys by Kawhi Leonard's side, that'll do damage to every single team in the league. There's only a select few big men out there in the NBA, by the way, who really irritate the Golden State Warriors, and Marc Gasol is one of them. So for people to be out here telling me that the Raptors don't need Marc Gasol, what's wrong with you? Yeah, they don't need him, but it would be really nice and he would be helpful. If you still aren't convinced for some reason, first of all, get out your feelings and hear me out. Who would you trust in the playoffs? Time is slowly expiring. The game is intense and pressure is in the air. And the pace is slowed down. Who do you trust to make the right play on the floor? Marc Gasol or Jonas Valančiūnas? I'm not trying to say that Jonas Valančiūnas is a scrub. I have nothing against that dude. That dude was beasting in the playoffs last year. But I'm just saying, he's not the player that Marc Gasol is right now. There's levels to this, and right now Jonas ain't on that level. Now let's look at this trade in the Grizzlies' point of view. It's a good deal because Kyle and Jonas Valančiūnas for now are worse players than Mike Conley and Marc Gasol, and that'll give them a much better chance at securing their own pick this year. They need to be one of the 8 worst teams in the league before the season ends, so that they can select a great young prospect instead of just going out this season sad for no reason and giving their pick to Boston. Now if I'm Memphis, I'm not gonna lie, I don't want just Kyle Lowry and Jonas Valančiūnas. That's dead. I want a young player, and that young player that I want would probably be OG Anunoby. If not OG, then I want DeLon Wright or someone like that. So one of their young pieces I need back. And if Memphis wants to do this deal, then I think that's what they'll do. Before I end off this video, I just want to throw in one more player, and that player is Lonzo Ball. And I've seen rumors about him being a part of a 3-team trade, and he would end up being on the Phoenix Suns. Now, I honestly do not know how accurate those rumors were at all, but I just want to put my 2 cents into this idea. The Phoenix Suns getting Lonzo Ball could be one of the best things that happened to their organization as of late, and it could turn around their mentality. He would make them a much better team instantly because of all the little things that he does. He can do everything extremely well, except he can't put the ball in the basket. That's it. So if I'm Phoenix, I'm telling every other point guard out there that you thought of getting or could get, I'm saying screw you and forget about them. Forget about every single one of them, prospects in the NBA or not. Screw you. Jamorant, you're included, I'm sorry. Because I think Lonzo Ball is their best option, and he would do everything that this team needs to be done. Anyways, this is the end of the video, man. If a trade happens involving anyone in the thumbnail or a part of this vid like Lonzo Ball, I'm still keeping up that thumbnail. I'm still posting this video too because Lonzo Ball looks really nice in a Suns jersey. Anyways, this is the end of the video, man. I really do appreciate you for taking time out of your day to watch me talk about basketball and try to make sense out of all this craziness. This is the end of the video, man. Make sure you leave a like, comment, share this video, and also follow me on Instagram. Have a good day. And until then, I'll get right with you.
No way, remember back when I couldn't get a play, no home, I ain't have a place to stay, I got to work, made the surf, free the way, so my girl, who'd ever thought?